Hello everyone, welcome back to my additional mathematics channel. For today's video sharing, I will share with you the paper 2 trial exam Kedah, and the question in focus is the most easiest question, which is the linear law. So I will discuss with you how to solve the question by using the graph and how to draw the line of best fit. Have fun! Guys, do your best, be the best. Let's get started. Express y equal to a squared x squared plus 2abx plus b squared in the linear form of y equal to mx plus c. So we have big Y, we have big X, and the M and the C. So just to highlight to you, the big Y must have the small y, and the big X must have the small x. Okay, the big Y is a mother of small y, and the big letter X is the mother for the small baby X. And M and C are the constant, are number, alright? So let's try to apply linear law so that we can convert the non-linear equation into the linear equation, and then from the linear equation we can find two important things, which is gradient and intercept, right? So let's see how to apply linear law so that we can get two important keys, okay, which is M and C. Once you got the key M and C, you can unlock the question and solve everything, alright? So the M and C are the number that you must obtain from the graph. M is the gradient, you just need 2 points, alright? And C is the line that intersect or cut the y-axis, alright? We call as y-intercept. So actually for this question is very easy, right? So for SPM exam for paper 2, actually you have one very easy question, which is linear law. So all of you must attempt this question, alright? Even though it's a bit time consuming, but you need to keep on practice so that you can go fast and it's actually the most easier question for you to score marks, right? Okay, so now let's convert the non-linear equation into the linear equation before we can draw the table between the x and square root of y. So in order to convert to the linear equation, you always read the question first. What is a big Y and what is a big X? Okay? Don't do first with the non-linear equation. Read the question first. The question say use the skill and then so and so, and then they say plot what and what. Alright? So when they say plot, that means they are going to tell you what is the big Y and what is the big X. Alright? So from the question, I know that my big Y is square root of Y, right? Okay, and then my big X will be small x, right? Okay, so I knew I have to sort out all the terms into 4 boxes. Alright, so let's imagine there are 4 boxes. So you just want to throw the things y and a square x square and the 2abx and b square into the 4 boxes. Alright, and they will form an equation y equal to m big X plus c. Alright, so from there I can see I have to square root my y because the question mentioned big Y is square root y. From there I have to do the completing the square, or you can say you factorize, right? So I will actually write y actually equal to, I have to factorize first a. Why I know I have to factorize? Because I just read the question and I have to square root the y. So I will write ax plus b square, right? Because when you expand ax plus b square, you will get exactly the same a square x square plus 2abx plus b square. You can try to expand it. I'm sure you can see it now. Now you just square root the y, alright? With the purpose, you want to follow the instruction of the question. Okay, so square root of y is equal to, the a is actually a number that they don't want to tell you, is unknown. So a must be a constant and the b also must be a constant. So then we will plug in to the box. So square root y we will put inside the first box. Alright, and then equal to followed by the constant. Alright, we will put the constant a into the second box, and then we will put the small x into the third box, and the last one after the plus must be a number. Okay, it can be positive, can be negative number. Alright, understand? So now we will fill up the boxes with the square root y, and then a, and then x, and then b. Alright, so that means you actually successfully convert the non-linear equation into linear equation. So you have square root y equal to a x plus b, right? Okay, understand? So if you think you don't know how to apply linear law, my advice to you is you don't read the question just for beginning. You read everything first. Alright, read the whole question until you see plot big Y with the big X. Which one is a big Y? Read the question and find where is a big Y, where is a big X. Then only you apply to the non-linear equation. You will know how to do after you read the question thoroughly. Okay? Alright, so now we have the square root y equal to a x plus b. We actually successfully we call as apply linear law, but actually there is nothing for you to memorize. There's no formula for apply the linear law. There's no law for you to apply, right? Okay, so that's how we call as linear law. We actually read the scale now, 2 centimeter to 2 unit, right? on the x-axis and 2 centimeter to 1 unit on the square root y-axis, which is the big y-axis, right? Alright, so that means the big Y there, you can see or not, you can connect to the equation. Okay, the question already hints you the big Y is actually square root of Y. So if you didn't read the question, you are not aware that yes, the square root Y is actually the big Y. Alright, so now we are going to plot the graph. Before we plot the graph and draw the line of best fit, we have to draw a table by using x and then square root y. Alright, so let's get started with the table. Okay, we have to draw the table something like this. So you have the values of x and values of the square root of y, and always double check, maybe press your calculator 2 times, okay, and make sure you get the right big Y and big X before you plot the table. Okay, let's go to the table and draw. So you have X 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Looks very simple. Alright, then you have the square root Y. Can you see that? I'm going to highlight for you X, and then you have 2, and you have square root Y, which is a big Y. So we are going to actually list down one by one. 2, you got 6.34. 4, you got 5.08, right? 6, you got 3.82. And then 8, you got 2.56. And 10, you got 1.30, right? It's so colorful, right? So actually, you have to double check twice so that there is no careless mistake. Alright, when easy, we tend to careless, right? Okay, we are tends to make mistake when the things are easy. So please beware that we are always careless, and then we have to always double check. So let's check the table again and again before we draw the line of best fit. Okay, so we will actually press the calculator twice so that we tally all the points. Alright, so now as you see, we have the x and square root y. 2, 6.34. 4 is 5.08, right? And then we have the 6, 3.82. 8 is 2.56, and 10 is 1.30. So now we are going to plot the graph. Okay, so we use the x and square root y as our axis. Alright, so this is a table, x against the square root y. With this table, then we can draw the graph. Now let's have a look at the graph. Okay, for the graph, it's a must to follow the scale, because if you didn't follow the scale, you will get very bad marks. So please follow the scale and do it carefully. Plot the point carefully. Alright, so actually for the line of best fit, it means that the line must have the all the points that must be balanced. Okay, try to pass through as many points as possible, and if the line is not on the line, make sure the distance is close to the line, and make sure there is actually balance between the point which is above and below the line. So basically for linear law, you actually, the first step is you draw the table, find all the points and double check all the points, and then you will plot the point on the graph paper, right? So let's see how to plot the point. When you plot the point, please always double check so that we avoid the careless mistake. So 2 and then 6.34, right? That is the first point so that we plot. Alright, so each of the point must be accurate on the line. Okay, so the next point, we always draw the point first before we draw the lines of best fit. Okay, so the second point, I'm going to check one by one so that I won't have careless mistake. 4, then you will check. Alright, is actually pairs with the big Y. Alright, then we have the next point. We have to make sure all the points are actually accurate. So just I think about 6 points, right? Normally in SPM exam. So you have 6 and 3.82, right? Okay. So now after label the point, you have to measure the point which are lines on the straight line as many as possible. Alright, and if the point are out of the straight line, it must be balanced. Okay, so we have 8, 2.5 something, right? Okay, we have the 10 and 1.30 is the last point, right? Okay, so I have plot all the points. It looks like all the points are almost lies on the straight line, so you can actually draw the line of best fit easily. Okay, so this is X, label the x-axis. Don't forget to label. Alright, labeling is very important because it's actually telling you the big X is small x. And also the origin is very important. It must be start with the x0. Alright. Then for the y-axis, you have to follow the scale. Measure is 1, 2, 3 until the last one is 8. Then don't forget to label the big Y axis as square root Y. Alright, and then you can double check all the points carefully. Okay, so in order to draw the line of best fit, basically the basic step is all the points must be accurate so that you can get the best y-intercept. Alright, so now we will check the point first. So you have 2 and then 6.34, you double check. Okay, and then you have the 4 and 5.08. Every point you just got 6 points, right? So you double check. Don't just do in a hurry and faster find the gradient and intercept. No, you have to make sure all the points are accurate first before you find the intercept and gradient. Because example, like one of the point out, it will affect your gradient and intercept. So we have point 6 and 3.82, right? Alright, so you make sure you double check the point. Alright, the point must be accurate first. So I actually advise you to go through the point label like this. So 8, 2.56, so that you are in focus to that point and then you won't make careless mistake, you see. And the last point is 10 and 1.30. Alright, and label all the x's. Alright, so I'm sure everyone can get 10 marks or at least 8 marks for this question. Alright, label. Make sure you label the x-axis and label the origin is very important. And the scale of the x, make sure you follow the instruction of the question. Don't use your own scale. Alright, so for the y-axis, we actually label vertically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 8, right? Okay, so that is how you plot the graph for linear law, and that's how you label 5, 6, 7 and then 8, and then you draw the line of best fit that passes through as many points as possible. And if the points are above or below the line, it must be balanced. Okay, alright, that's called line of best fit. Alright, so I'm sure everyone can score very good marks for this question. So but if you keep on practice, like the daily you do one question per day, I'm sure come to next year, you can do very fast. Maybe within 10 minutes, you can solve one graph question. Alright guys, keep on practice non-stop until next year so that you can do very fast and accurate graph that I drawn. And then after we draw the graph, we need to find the best 2 point lies on the line and find the gradient. So the y-intercept is actually the b 7.60 and the a is actually the gradient, right? So I will choose the best 2 points lies on the straight line and find the gradient. And the best point is actually the y-intercept, which is actually 7.60, right? Okay, so I will choose the last point, which is the 10 minus 0 for the x, and for the y is actually follow the coordinates for the last point. So you'll get negative 0.063, right? So the gradient is negative 0.63. Alright, and the gradient is actually equal to the a, which is from the equation of the straight line just now. And the gradient you can actually write in 4 significant figure, but here we have 2 decimal, so we will write the we will find the gradient and the y-intercept first, alright, before we equal to the constant. Okay, we equate them, so hence the a is negative 0.63 and the b is 7.60. Okay guys, that's right? All my sharing for today's. Till then, I shall see you in my next video sharing. Bye bye and have a nice day.